athletic administrator in Kansas for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
This is an opportunity for you guys to really step up and get some minutes and get better. And then when Joey does get back to us, now we're even better than we were. After giving up in the second half, at our place, we gave up 11 in the second half. And then tonight we gave up 57 in the second half. Yeah, we're supposed to be trying to guard the arc, and they hit 13 threes, and we didn't take care of the ball. They pressured us.
We got Blue Valley to start off with, who's got a really strong player in Jaden Wooten. And she's a strong kid, and obviously we got a little bit of the film, but we got to watch Shawnee Mission Northwest actually beat them last week in a real close game.
I think we'll see throughout the week. I haven't got to go out and practice yet and put myself in those positions. I've done limited stuff, kind of in a small kind of box of what I can do. But
just on top of the arm talent that he has, he can make all the throws, deep balls, short balls. It's just he's also very patient. He makes really good decisions with the football.
I think last year we found a lot of ways to win a lot of different games. I just think this year we're a much more complete team from top to bottom.
It's the Eagles offensive line, and it's probably the best offensive line in football. It's the 49ers defensive line led by Nick Bosa. These two units are going to fuel each team. Time to 7 position players in the lineup at the end of the year. There were times in the majority of the year with 4 or 5 guys in rotation were rookies within their first 2 years. But the moves we just made here recently clear the path a little bit more, in particular in center field and also at shortstop.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Yeah, rolling through another week of Sports Day here on the mighty 1590. Steve Webster with you for the Thursday show today. And once again, we have a great lineup. Kyle Cree, head coach of the Great Bend Panther boys. He'll be in studio bringing along a couple players today. Senior Tyler Stulsatz and freshman Jacob Hall. Panther boys will be playing in Dodge City tomorrow against the Dodge City Red Demons back into Western Athletic Conference play for the Panther boys. Lady Panthers, they'll be playing. That's part of the Sounds of the past 24 hours coming up. We'll tell you about that. Also, Brett Kaiser. Brett's a former Great Bender Development and Sports Coordinator for Special Olympics Kansas. He's made the trip down here to talk about the West Region Basketball and Cheerleading Tournament. It's going to be held in Great Bend for the first time on February 25th, so looking forward to that visit with Brett. Also, Mike Corson will be back from his noon luncheon school board meeting. The devotion of those guys to go to that luncheon meeting, to come to the school board when Cole did it and now with Corson, for those guys to just go down there and have to get a free meal and cover this. But he'll be back here today. Mike will be talking with Claret Gilbert, Great Bend Panther swimming coach. Thursday sports headlines and the Sounds the past 24 hours or so. Aaron Clark is on the road. He's covering Lady Panthers this afternoon. Corson's gone. Hesh, you're here.
I'm here. In spirit, maybe.
Well, don't talk too loud, okay?
I'll try not to. Yeah, I'm trying to save my voice.
Okay, because you missed Trading Post today because we didn't want you to get a BWM, broadcasting while medicated.
Yesterday would have been probably worse. Actually, it would have been Tuesday. I think Tuesday, because I struggled all day long doing anything. Yeah, that was probably the big one. But,
okay, well,
I played hurt, as you guys like to call me.
Yeah, you played hurt, and Hesh is running the live stream on YouTube. On the Great Bend, on Eagle Communications, correct, YouTube channel. So, yeah, we're all over the place. So let's get to our Sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Head coach Jeremy Combs and the Barton Cougars, they got a big win last night. They went to Ark City, the Pumpkin Palace down there where everything is orange. And a big win. They knocked off Cali 68-61. He was talking about playing, again, without Joey LaCandro, their leading scorer and rebounder. Probably is going to be out another couple of weeks, so they're going to have to do that. That was a big win last night for Barton because they were able to make a leap in the standings thanks to the other games that took place last night. So Barton men now at 8-6. They'll take on Hutch on Saturday out at the Kirkman Center. Now helping things like, how about Coffeyville? Rolled past Dodge City 94-78. Dodge City had a 3-game lead in the Jayhawk standings. Now they're a half game behind Coffeyville. They've lost 3 in a row, and Coffeyville's on a roll right now. How about this game? Hutch got beat last night at the Sports Arena by the Pratt Beavers. 130-126.
Regulation? No overtime?
I don't think so. It may have been. I didn't show on the conference website.
Wow.
Tony DeSalm, I just, they like to run up and down the floor. They press all over the place. They usually foul a lot. And they got beat, so that helped Barton. So Barton was ahead of Hutch in the conference standings. You won't finish in the top 4, so you get that first-round bye in the Region 6 tournament. So Barton now tied with Garden City for 5th right now at 8-6. Pratt is a half game ahead at 9-6. The Beavers have had quite the season. Other games last night, Independence knocked off Cloud. That helped the Cougars, 73-71. And Butler got beat out in Goodland, out at Ice Station Zebra. Northwest Tech beating Butler 76-67 last night. So Butler now, you look at the standings, Coffeyville 11-4, Dodge 10-4. Butler 16-5, Pratt 9-6, Barton 8-6, Garden 8-6, Hutch is 8-7. They'll come to town. They're tied with Cloud right now. So the crowded standings of one night you can win and make a move in the standings. The Barton Moon did that. News not so good for the Barton Lady Cougars. Cali dropped 13 3-pointers on them. Barton loses 94-75. Alan Clark saying, we didn't defend, we turned it over, it wasn't a good night. Lady Cougars, that was a costly loss. They go from 2nd to 4th in the standings now. 10-4 in league play. Hutchinson winning last night. Hutch beat Pratt 88-57, so Hutch now a half game ahead of the Lady Cougars. Butler won last night on the road at Ice Station Zebra against Northwest Tech, and they did it in decisive factor, 71-60. So, big games coming up. Hutch, Hall of Fame Day out at Barton on Saturday. Okay, high school basketball, Cindy Beck talking about her first-round opponent in the Firebird Classic at Lawrence Free State High School. They take on Blue Valley. They're 6-3. They're ranked 8th in Class 6A, and the Lady Panthers are 5-5. That's a loaded tournament. There's 3 ranked teams in the tournament that are ranked in 6A, and the first of those teams is Lawrence. They're number 5 in 6A, and they play the first game of that tournament today against Topeka West. Great Bend would get the winner or the loser of that game, depending on how the game with Blue Valley goes today. Blue Valley, by the way, I think I said that they're 6-3. Lawrence is 8-1. Topeka West is 8-2. The other side of the bracket has 8-3 Topeka High. They're ranked 7th in 6A, taking on Wichita Northwest, who's 5-6. Goddard Eisenhower is the number 2 seed, not ranked in 5A. They're 7-2, taking on Free State, who has a record of 0-9. Which they should be the 8th seed, but they want them to play the night game. So we'll have the broadcast for you today. Aaron Clark riding solo today for Great Bend Lady Panther basketball pregame at 4:15 on B104.3 The Point. Patrick Mahomes, he did practice yesterday. Went through, it's a light practice, though, when you're on a Wednesday. We'll see how he does today and say, he's ready to go. We'll see. Safety Justin Reed talking about yesterday what makes Joe Burrow so tough to defend, the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback. He says he's very, very patient. And speaking of Joe Burrow, saying the Bengals last year, they came up, won some big games, but this year's team feels that they're better, more well-rounded. The defense has played really well last week, and that win over Buffalo. So it's all lining up here, getting closer. 5:30 Sunday afternoon at Arrowhead. I was meant to check the weather because I thought last night, Hesh, that there was showing a chance of some snow in Kansas City?
That's what I've heard. What I can vaguely remember of what I've heard past 40 hours. But on Mahomes, I saw some video, and I actually went to a Twitter machine to find, they had him doing some, they were stretching, and he was standing on one leg, and he was balanced on both of them. I mean, so he did one leg and then alternated, and looked like he was pretty stable. So the speculation was he's going to be okay.
Well, that's what everybody's saying, but
I understand.
I mean, was that actually Patrick Mahomes, or was it a guy dressed up in a Patrick Mahomes uniform? Did they see him without his helmet on? Because they can try to get, the secrecy matters here in the postseason.
He did not have his helmet on, but it was a faraway shot. I don't know if you could zoom in and tell if it was him or not, but it had number 15 and it had the yellow jersey on, so
it worked.
Speculation.
It worked. They're going to come out there and run the wishbone on Sunday. Catch the Bengals off guard. Booger McFarland. He's one of my favorite analysts on ESPN, even though his first name he uses Booger. But talking about what positional matchup he wants to see. They have that other game going on.
Yeah.
The Eagles and San Francisco. And, your buddy, J.J. Piccolo.
Yes, what did J.J. have to say?
Well, basically saying that,
time to lead 7 position players in the lineup at the end of the year. There were times in the majority of the year with 4 of our 5 guys in rotation were rookies or within their first 2 years. But the moves we just made here recently cleared the path a little bit more, in particular in center field and also at shortstop.
Yeah, you got Bobby Witt. You don't want to play in third base. And
he didn't prove that he could play shortstop last year defensively. He made numerous errors.
He's like 19 years old.
Well, okay, I'll give him that, but I'm glad that they're clearing some dead wood out of there.
Yeah,
they had to, and I don't know if the former GM would have done that, but JJ's kind of like, okay, he found somebody to take him, and the only one left now is maybe Hunter Berger.
Correct, but
he's got a big salary and not a lot of accomplishments.
I would concur with that.
So I'd stop this show and we've agreed on something.
Well, no. So this Josh Taylor, now, and that's what Piccolo said also, that they were very upfront with the Red Sox. So both teams basically are going, we don't think that Alberto is going to stay healthy, and they must not think that Josh Smith is going to stay, or Josh Taylor is going to stay healthy, because, previous 3 seasons in Boston, he had a 3.69 ERA, 129 strikeouts over 121 appearances. At one point during the 2021 season, he had a streak of 26 consecutive scoreless innings, the longest streak for a left-hander in franchise history, although left-handers at Fenway have not fared as well, so that's pretty good. And they added some bullpen help with Taylor to the White Sox.
Pitching is currency in Major League Baseball.
Also wins, I should say.
Yeah, so, more pitching you now, when they're out of the race at the trading deadline, that's my positive thought for the day, Dr. Doom. When they're out of the playoff race, they may have some arms that they can trade.
They're in the American League Central.
Does it matter? They lost 96 games last year, 97 games.
Come on, Dr. Doom.
I'm not very positive toward this year yet.
I can't wait, because you weren't here when we made our ridiculous picks. And I always have the Royals winning 84 games. You're one of those. We're probably going to win. We're probably going to win this year. So there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. Some sports headlines today. Wichita State losing again last night. They're now 10-10. They lost at home.
To Tulsa?
No, Tulane.
Oh, that's what it was.
The Green Wave. I don't know. The Shocker fans it hasn't been the same since old mean Greg Marshall. I hope that doesn't happen to the Shockers that happened to KU. KU got rid of their mean coach a long time ago. They won 4 games in football the next decade. Big 12, big weekend. Talked about it yesterday, the SEC Big 12 Challenge. And Mike DeCourcy, Sporting News, saying yesterday that he thought the Big 12 had a chance of having 6 teams on the 4-line or higher in the NCAA tournament. We'll find out this weekend. Iowa State, one of those teams. They play at Missouri. TCU's at Mississippi State. Baylor hosts Arkansas. Tennessee will host Texas. Florida at Kansas State, and Kansas at Kentucky. Roger Ward saying earlier this week he thinks KU's going to roll them. I can't see KU losing 4 straight games.
The question I have is how many teams can you have in the top 16 from the same conference? Because they have those guidelines where you can't play each other until you get to a certain round.
I don't think they have those guidelines.
Did they get rid of those?
Well, I don't know. Okay. Evidently, maybe that's the reason why it's never been in there. But okay, hey, DeCourcy's my man.
I'm not going to argue with him. He knows more than I do.
Okay, Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes, finalists for the AP NFL Most Valuable Player and Offensive Player of the Year awards. Okay, Bronco fans, the Jets ended their 2-week search for an offensive coordinator, hiring Denver Broncos coach Nathaniel Hackett. So are they throwing their pole in the water, trying to pull out the same fish the Broncos did?
I heard speculation on that yesterday as well.
Jets are expected to be in the market for a veteran quarterback. Didn't work last year, but maybe it'll work this time. Getting
Aaron Rodgers is just toying with everybody. He's pulling the strings.
And would you turn, and I was thinking about this today, LSU accidentally overpaid football coach Brian Kelly $1 million during the first year of a 10-year, $100 million contract, discovered the error and has moved to correct it. Kelly was paid $1 million in supplemental payments in 22 because of duplicate payments made to both Kelly's LLC and the coach directly. I don't think he knew what's going on. I mean, you got that much money coming in. You worry about it?
You wouldn't think so, no. I actually had a former colleague that got an additional $26,000 from a company during a buyout. He didn't say anything.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, you were me. Now, if we
I would say something myself.
I would notice in my account.
Yes, it would.
But I got to, but if you're one of these top-paid coaches, do you really check your...
$1 million here, $1 million there? No, I don't think you would.
Kelly's LLC and the coach directly. What if that's direct deposit? Or he's got to take the check down.
Take it to the bank.
You got to take it down the hot check.
Not a hot, a live check is what they call them, my bad.
Okay, and the Oakland Athletics spending years trying to get a new stadium, time running out. They've watched the Giants, Warriors, 49ers, Raiders successfully move into state-of-the-art venues. The A's have been negotiating for a stadium in Oakland or Vegas. Oakland officials want to keep the A's, but they've been careful about spending public money. Vegas officials aren't likely to provide public funding. The A's could also explore other cities. So there you go. Sports news of the day. Coming up, we're going to talk high school basketball. Kyle Cree, head coach of the Panthers, in with Tyler Stulsatz and Jacob Hall. Also coming up, Brett Kaiser and Great Bend Swim coach Cole Gilbert here on Sports Day on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction. They have quite a few jobs scheduled for the new year, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Attention high school juniors. Explore your career paths at Barton Community College's Junior Day, February 15th. This fun and free day features a campus tour, giveaways, yard games, pizza, and did we mention $3,000 in scholarships will be up for grabs? Learn about a variety of career paths, some which can get you in the workforce and making money in just one semester. Sign up online at juniorday.bartonccc.edu through February 1st to attend Junior Day.
2023 is here, and Marmy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is fired up and ready to deal. $10,000 off on select new Ram pickups is a good reason to come into Marmy's today during the Start Something New sales event and buy a new vehicle. Marmy's are giving fair market value for your trade-in, and no reasonable offer will be turned down. Come in today and let Mary, Tom, or Steve show you our new inventory or order a new vehicle equipped to your liking. Go to Marmy's.net. Marmy's, make it happen.
Don't feel bad if you're not a phone expert. That's what we're here for. At NextTech Wireless, we'll help you with the transition to a new device step by step. Want to customize an experience? We've got you. Have questions about football country? We're happy to help. We're not just another company. Come see us today, and we'll give you the best phone for your needs. We're friends. We're neighbors. We are Kansas. NextTech Wireless.
It's time to talk Great Bend High School basketball with head coach Kyle Cree on Sports Day.
Welcome back to Sports Day here on a Thursday. Steve Webster in studio. Time to talk Great Bend Panther boys basketball as Kyle Cree in studio once again. He's brought a couple players with him. Tyler Stulsat's back again for his second appearance. Let me get over here. Yeah, that's Jacob Hall in on the program. So we've got a freshman and an upperclassman here on the show today. Coach, back, had a little bit of time now after you played 3 straight days in El Dorado. So how's it come back? As you kind of get back into a routine here following the second tournament week?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the El Dorado tournament was a good experience for us, and we played well majority of the time. And, you know, I think the Manhattan Chiefs were better than most people expected, and we beat Collegiate, which was awesome, and a good win for the program. And then we played well against Capen for, I'd probably say about 25 minutes. So, and Capen's a really solid team, and I think there's a lot that we've learned. So this week we had a tough practice Monday, with no doubt about it. So we haven't given them a break as far as practices are concerned. And then Tuesday we came back and watched some film. We did some positives and some negatives from the tournament weekend, and then yesterday we got after it again. I think yesterday was probably the hardest I've coached all season as far as pushing the guys and trying to get them out of their comfort zone and trying to make them realize, like, we're all not best buddies for 2 hours of the day.
Okay, all right. Tyler Stulsat's with us right now. Tell me how the El Dorado experience was for you. Got that championship game, and just kind of overall your thoughts on the way the tournament went and the whole experience there, Tyler.
The whole tournament experience was really fun to be at and played. I think the Manhattan Chiefs game and Collegiate game was really fun. It was good that we beat them, and I thought we could beat Capen if we played slow, on our offense, and I really thought we could beat them.
Capen the best team you played this year, do you think? You played some good ones.
Yeah, I'd probably say maybe first or second. Team.
A lot of length in there. If you ever play a team that had that many guys who were 6'2" or above?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's not scared of any of them. Jacob Hall, your first experience at the El Dorado Blue STEM Classic. How'd the week go for you? Enjoyable experience?
Yeah, it was a fun experience. It was fun. The Capen game, it was tough.
First game right out of the chute, taking on the Manhattan Chief team, and you guys kept them at bay the entire way. Then you had the Collegiate game. What was that game like for you to play in?
Yeah, it was interesting.
How much did you... It didn't seem like that clock was moving very fast in the fourth quarter. You got the big lead, and how long did that fourth quarter last? I mean, in your mind, it seemed like it just kept going on and on.
Yeah, it felt like a long quarter.
Your first year in the Panther program, so talk about since the start of the year, how you've improved and some areas you still want to keep improving on here.
Yeah, I think shooting and all-around dribbling and stuff like that, and working as a team. Yeah.
It's how have you seen the improvement of this team since the first game of the year? What's got better?
I think our teamwork and winning the ball and stuff like that.
Well, how long did that fourth quarter last for you? It seemed like, Tyler, and that against Collegiate.
Well, I was in foul trouble. So I was in very much.
Yeah, but you were pretty busy, though. You were going in and out, weren't you? I mean, you had situational substitutions. That Collegiate game was a good win. See what they did in the second half and their game against Stark City there on Saturday. But it's just playing against that pressure for 4 quarters, man, that starts to wear on you after a while.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they do, and I'm sure that's what Fiegel's done for the past 34 years. I know a lot of teams enjoy watching Collegiate lose. So I was getting text messages from some of my peers, from guys that I hadn't heard from in a while, and a lot of people were excited for us, and we're headed in the right direction. But it was fun. I mean, go back and watch the film, just seeing how locked in. Not only the guys on the court, but our bench. We took some time to watch those guys, and that's definitely an emphasis. They've kind of started some stuff that maybe you'd see in college games where they're, maybe like part-time cheerleaders or whatever. But as long as they're locked in, and that's why we want to suit up so many guys. I feel like as a coach, when you get some of those, sophomores and freshmen that are there for the experience and they're locked in, they're probably going to learn more than if they're in the student section or, sitting somewhere else in the gym on their cell phone. So I think overall it was for the team, it was awesome and it was fun. And when we watch it as a team, you can just see the smile on their face. So it's good for the guys to kind of have that feeling, and all the hard work is paying off.
Okay, it was a busy second half for you because Ian and Tyler both had foul trouble. So talk about the dynamic on the bench because, you had a lot of things going on. You watch the game, you get substitutions, things like that. Talk about the dynamic on the bench with your assistant coaches, Kyle.
Yeah, it's, and I've said this 100 times, I don't know if I could find 3 guys that I enjoy being around and trust as much as Kuhlman, Bernie, and Wells. So, a lot of times people want to talk about the job that I'm doing, but I definitely lean on those guys quite a bit. And then when you look at the players, these guys, they've been raised the right way. They've had great coaches their whole lives. So their basketball IQ, as far as, the guys that are getting to play is at a high level. And some of the credit goes to, maybe some of their middle school coaches, maybe some of their parents, and who they had as coaches probably from maybe like 2nd grade through 6th grade. So,
okay, 6-6. We start Friday, tomorrow at Dodge City. Evaluate your team here at just past the midway point, Kyle.
I don't know that I could be more positive or more pleased, as far as like a growth standpoint. So we're continuing to get better on a daily basis. And like I've said before, I try to find like maybe some of our weaknesses and try to point those out during practice, whether these guys know it or not. So we're headed in the right direction, and in the back of my mind, I still remember when we went to Dodge last year and they blasted us by 30. So that's something that definitely motivates me.
I don't think I've asked you this before. It's always coaches who give you different answers sometimes, and I'll just say, this isn't a single game, but say you pick up that season-long stat total. What are you looking at first?
I look at our plus minus, so, I kind of look at whether or not we're an individual player is, if we're more productive when they're on the court. Also, we look at the VPS, which is pretty much everything positive. It's an equation, everything positive divided by everything negative. So whether you're making baskets, getting assists, taking charges divided by, turnovers, stuff like that. So VPS is definitely something I look at. And then I also go back and the good thing about Hudl is we can look at like our most productive group of 5. So it's kind of interesting to go and look and see like which team, which 5 is scoring the most, which team is getting the most rebounds. And I'm big on turnovers and rebounds. I feel like if you win the rebound margin, and that's definitely a factor tomorrow night, you win that battle, your chances of winning increases by quite a bit.
You're the first guys ever answered in an analytical way. So analytics have come to high school as well. Hudl's a pretty cool tool.
Yeah, and I think I'm an analytical guy. I think when I first went to college, I kind of wanted to be in the finance world and took some business classes and stuff like that, and worked for a construction company. So. I definitely look at numbers probably more than my wife would like. I think she wants me to start going to bed before 1 o'clock and stuff like that. But that's definitely things that I look at in the evenings when I'm by myself.
That's one of my favorite stats, but that was back in my day, back at Pratt JUCO, in my early days, Jim Schuster was head coach and the team manager. That's what he would do. He would chart the lineups that were in and what happened during that time, but they had to do it on paper. Now you can just sit there and pull it up when you...
Yeah, we gotta pay a little bit of extra money and send that stuff in, so it definitely saves me some time. And but we also like our coaches during the game. We have a productivity chart, so we kind of look at things like everything positive and turnovers are -2, assists are +3. So there are things that we're doing during the game that they're somewhat analytical, and one of the coaches is focused on our team. Another coach is focusing on the other team, and then Kuhlman kind of gets to keep fouls and paint touches and stuff like that. So we look at quite a bit of things during the game.
What's DPS, Tyler's tool science?
V.
Oh,
V.
Like V?
Yeah.
I honestly don't.
You just know if you go out and play good, and if you draw charges, that's going to add a little bit to that too. So, okay, you've watched film on Dodge City this week. What are your impressions? And Coach said, you probably remember that game out of Dodge City last year, but just your impressions on seeing Dodge City getting ready for them for tomorrow night.
I think their defense is what is a little bit different playing. and having our offense. And I think if our offense works good, I think our defense needs to be good as well.
Jacob, what are your impressions of Dodge City getting ready to go in there and face the Red Demons tomorrow night?
Well, about the same thing as Tyler said. Their defense is the really big difference. I think our offense will be able to handle that well as long as we do the same on our defense and everything.
Dodge City comes in, they game 5 and 7. Your impressions on this Dodge team? They get a little bit of size inside. They shoot the ball a lot. They don't make it sometimes, but they do shoot the three.
Yeah, I mean, they shoot a lot, and something we're going to talk about today is when they shoot at home, they shoot a lot better than if they're at a neutral site or away. So I think from the three-point line, they're probably shooting like 37%, and then they also get a lot of assists. So we're going into their house, and they definitely play a lot better at home. And like these guys are talking, they play the lock left defense, which is kind of a non-traditional way of playing man-to-man defense, but kind of looks like a zone. So yesterday, that's something that we definitely focused on. But like Jake's saying, we got the guys to attack them. We got to make sure we're sharing the ball and looking for skip passes. And there are times when they're way out of position. So we got to just make sure that we're working together and cutting to the basket and not spotting up every time there's a chance to spot up. So we got to get some cutters, get some post entries, and attack their defense.
Okay, Isaiah Taylor's got the ball in his hands quite a bit. Thoughts on the way he plays and some things you need to do to try to neutralize him a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, he's the heart and soul of everything that they do, whether it's on offense or defense. So if he's not their point guard on offense, I don't know how great their chances are of winning. And then the same thing on defense. He's the guy that guards the point guard, and he's trying to push everybody to the left side, to the left corner. So we're going to try to do some things to maybe get some outlet passes and get it to guys that he's not guarding and see if he can actually play like help side defense and stuff like that.
And I know your VPS and analytics and R2, D2s and stuff like that.
I'm just going to be like you.
Have indicated
numbers like you. I don't sound like a radio guy.
Have indicated to you that they have a propensity to turn it over a little bit too.
Yeah, they're going to turn it over some, and you know, there's some teams that have played zone against them, and I don't know that they necessarily have the best zone offense, and I'm a man-to-man guy, and there's no doubt about that, but we may try to throw some zone at them just to keep them uncomfortable, keep them off balance, and similar approach that we did with Capon.
It's okay if you go zone.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's okay.
Kids, and I'm sure I was the same. Kids these days, they think they get a break when they're playing zone.
Well, they got
to work harder.
Then there's that. Okay, Tyler, your feelings right now, man. You're 6-6, jumping back into conference play. This league race is going to be very interesting. Your feelings going into Dodge City tomorrow night?
My feelings probably good. Was not making shots, or if our defense helps our defense, as I mentioned, then I think probably worse.
Okay. Jake, what are you thinking going into this game tomorrow night against Dodge?
I'm excited. I think we'll do good against our defense, and I think it'll work.
You and Emer.
We'll start calling that.
Emer Premer. You and Premer, freshman on the team. So how does that work? Do you have to carry equipment bags, anything like that?
Yeah, the nutrition stuff.
Okay.
They don't get they still got to clean the floor some, and they're not special by any means.
Okay, all right. So where do you guys get to sit on the bus? Okay, you fill in them, right? Okay, you're a filler-inner. Okay. How fun has this freshman year been for you?
It's something else. It's enjoyable, man.
Yeah, so, well, good luck to you guys tomorrow night. And Kyle, your thoughts there heading into Dodge City. This league race could get really interesting here as we go into February.
Yeah, and that's, talking to the seniors at the beginning of the season, we want to compete for a WAC championship. There's no doubt about it. And letting the Garden game kind of get away from us kind of puts us a game back. But we got to take it one game at a time, and tomorrow's very important. So we've got to be ready to attack their defense and let these guys get some touches. I feel like if Tyler, Jake, and Ian get some touches on the inside, that'll be to our advantage.
Okay, well, I appreciate you guys coming in. Tyler, who do you play that had more? They had 12 guys that were 6'2" or bigger. Who was bigger than that?
He's probably thinking when he plays NBA team.
Well, Capon, and probably...
Junction had some length, but I don't know if they had what Capon had.
Okay, I've never seen a roster that had 12 guys that were listed that were all 6'2" or bigger, so
Yep.
Yeah.
Tyler, he's not worried. He's ready to go. He doesn't care how tall they are. He's ready to roll.
Line him up in the corner and let him go, Coach.
Right. He'll be there tomorrow.
All right, that's our segment, Great Bend Panther Basketball Day. Sports Day coming up right after.
You want the best. You need to see Dr. Dan Quillen at Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Dr. Dan is Martin County's only board-certified clinical specialist in orthopedic physical therapy. No matter your age, when it hurts, he will help. Call Dan at 620-282-4825. That's 282-4825. Excellence-driven, unrivaled results. Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Inside the Fieldhouse at 9th and Madison in Great Bend.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Sports Day rolling on today. Welcoming Brett Kaiser. Brett is he's the Development and Sports Coordinator for Special Olympics Kansas. Made the trip down here from Hayes today. Brett, thanks for coming in. Give us your background. How long have you been with the Special Olympics Kansas?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me in. It's always a great pleasure of mine to come in and talk about the events and the things that we got going on for Special Olympics Kansas. So part of my background is I've been actually working for Special Olympics Kansas for about a year and a half. I'm the development sports coordinator, but that's also incorporated in that is the West Region director, so I cover all the events in the western part of the state. But yeah, I've been working for them for about a year and a half. Prior to that, I worked at the Arca Central Plains in Hayes, and I served there for about 5 years and I hosted all kinds of events for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Well, it's great to have you down here today and talking about a big event that's coming to Great Bend for the first time ever, and it's going to be the Special Olympics Kansas West Region Basketball and Cheerleading Tournament. And, of course, the Wrestling Special Olympics in Gross Coliseum. And is this same event, or is it... Yeah, tell me about the things coming in February.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that a lot of people think of our big events is the things that we only do. And
right.
So the basketball tournament in Hayes is one of our big events. We have big events in Wichita, Kansas City, really all over the state. But we also host regional events all over the state. And so these regional events are much smaller. They just cover for our athletes in those specific regions. You have to actually participate in one of those events to make it to the state tournament. But so this is totally separate from the Hayes event. That will actually still happen in March, and so that about a couple weeks after our basketball tournament here. But everybody who comes here will have the opportunity then to go to Hayes and play in that tournament.
And people from Western Kansas involved in this, or they come from all over?
For the basketball tournament here? Yeah. So it's mostly people, it's pretty much people from Western Kansas. We will probably have teams from Plainville, Hayes, Garden City, right here in Great Bend, Dodge City, really all over the western region participating in the basketball and cheerleading tournament.
And kids can do the Panther Activity Center. Why Great Bend, Brad?
Well, honestly, we had been hosting this event in Plainville for many years. The people in Plainville decided that they were ready to kind of take a step back, and I don't blame them. It's a lot of work to do stuff like this, and they were doing it as a volunteer opportunity, and so they took a step back, and I knew immediately that I wanted to do it in Great Bend. I actually used to live here in Great Bend, and I had been to the Panther Athletic Center multiple times. I knew that facility would really be kind of the right size for our event, and so as soon as they said that they weren't willing or wanting to do it anymore, I reached out to Matt Westerhouse, the athletic director at Great Bend High School, and he was on board right away.
Yeah, we're glad to have him. It's a good lane for Great Bend High School. So how many athletes and people are you talking about coming to town?
We'll probably have about, this is just a complete guess, I'd say in the 250 range as far as athletes and coaches coming in, as well as their parents and, fans and their families and stuff. And so we'll probably have, 500 to 700 people coming into town as part of this thing. And it's going to be a cool experience, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to host this for multiple years here in Great Bend. I think it's going to be the start of something good.
Something I learned from this, and one part of this is called Fit Feet, and tell me why Fit Feet and why it's important and how it affects the participants that we'll have here in Great Bend.
Yeah, and so, one of the things is when people think of Special Olympics, they really just think of the sports side of things. We are so much more than that. We provide leadership opportunities and classes, and the other side of it is we also provide health and wellness for our athletes, and it's been a really big push in recent years to do more health and wellness type of things. And so we have 6 different disciplines. This will be the first time that we've ever done Fit Feet in the state of Kansas.
Really? That's outstanding.
Yeah. And so Dr. Joshua Boone from right here in Great Bend, he hopped on a while ago to do this, and it just kind of worked out that we were going to be doing this in Great Bend as well, and so this will be his first time doing it. But yeah, Fit Feet, what all of our different disciplines do is they evaluate our athletes and their overall wellness in different areas, and this one is for their feet, and it tells you if they're wearing the right socks or right shoes, anything like that. It's really a cool thing that we can provide for our athletes, and we're just excited to continue to grow in that area.
So is this a problem, associated with everybody, or is it maybe the Special Olympic athletes that we're talking about here?
Yeah, I think probably it's a problem associated with everybody, but our Special Olympic athletes, sometimes some of their stuff goes untreated, or they don't have the funds to be able to pay for things like this, and so we really want to try to bridge that gap a little bit, and I think that doing these type of things definitely helps because they're free of cost or free to do, and so it's something that I think is a great thing for our athletes, but I'm sure everybody also can use that same service.
Brett Kaiser with us, Development and Sports Coordinator for Special Olympics Kansas, with us today on Sports Day. Okay, pull something off like this. Need some volunteers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a staff of about 20 people statewide. Some of us are remote workers. Our main office is in Kansas City. But there's really no way that 20 people can pull off events like this across the state. I mean, we have, on that one weekend, we have 3 or 4 other regional tournaments happening also. And so the only way that we can pull these events off is to have volunteers. And sometimes that's a lot of volunteers, sometimes it's just a few. For basketball tournaments, track meets, and things like that, we need quite a few volunteers. Right now we're at about, I think we're at 85. I may have to add a couple of slots as we go here. So we'll probably need about 85 volunteers for Great Bend.
We're talking individuals, there's some less step forward, but I know that this is a great opportunity for organizations, groups, churches, that have larger numbers that can all get involved with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I always try to push that because I think that people have a better time when they're volunteering with people that they know. Sometimes they might be more comfortable. And so, we want, if you have a group, I would love to talk to you. We have an online registration as far as registering single people, but if you have a larger group, I would love to get, or for you to get in touch with me, be able to chat with you about where you can serve and where we can best have you.
And so people want to get involved with us. How can they find out how they can jump on board with this, Brad?
Yeah, you can go to our website, soks.org. There's a West Region tab on there if you go to that. But we also, I'm on Facebook. We have Western Kansas SOKS on Facebook. There's going to be a link on there. And basically the best way to register is online. We have volunteer slots on there. And so if you get on our Western Kansas SOKS Facebook page, I will have a link on there that to go directly to the volunteer website.
Sponsorships, what does that include?
You know, we don't necessarily have a specific sponsorship package for our regional events at this point. I think we're going to start moving in that direction. But one of the things that is always needed is, you know, help with meals and different things like that. If somebody wants to sponsor our event, reach out to me. I'll definitely have that discussion with you on how we can serve you, how it can be beneficial for both of us.
Well, I can tell you're really passionate. Where'd that passion develop for, you know, Special Olympics, things like that, Brett?
Yeah, you know, when I was little, my mom she babysat a little girl with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and growing up, I didn't realize it was my passion at that time. I went back to school and got my degree in sports administration. Never saw myself working in this field, but I started to realize, you know, there's a lot of people that want to do recreation type of activities, but they don't have somebody that's really passionate about it and know what's going on, but also passionate about them. And so I'm passionate about both, and I think it works out well.
Okay. Again, Willie, your contact information real quick, Brett, so people can get a hold of you.
Yeah, so you can reach me by email at kaiserb@soks.org or by phone at 913-236-9290, extension 123.
Fantastic. You're a cross-country runner, huh?
Oh, yeah.
So you ran at Hayes High?
I did.
Who was the coach then?
Gerald Harris.
Gerald Harris. Okay, all right. So did you see, you know, I'm older. So, and did you go on, then you ran at Pratt?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, and then did you go to Fort Hays then after that? Or?
I transferred to Fort Hays thinking I was going to run cross-country and track. Never ended up running there. But yeah, I ran at Pratt Community College. I enjoyed my time there. But yeah, cross-country and track is another passion of mine. I actually coached at Hayes High, too, for a while with Coach Harris, and so it's one of those sports that I always follow, and I'm passioned about.
Still running?
Not really, no.
Good deal. Good deal. Brett, thanks so much for coming down here today, and we'll continue to spread the word, and good luck for your event coming to Great Bend.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
All right. Brett Kaiser, that event's coming up February 25th. Panther Activity Center, again, if you'd like to sponsor an event, or the biggest thing is volunteer, or if just go out and cheer these athletes on. Okay, we're going to take a break. Mike Corson coming up next. He's going to talk Great Bend Panthers swimming here on Sports Day.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Pleasanton.
Some of us were born to farm. Some diesels, like Cenex Premium Diesel, were born to fuel. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn to reduce particulate matter and keep filters cleaner for longer. Fuel your equipment like a pro with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and leave typical number 2 diesel to the amateurs. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Don't feel bad if you're not a phone expert. That's what we're here for. At NextTech Wireless, we'll help you with the transition to a new device step by step. Want to customize your screen? We've got you. Have questions about simple functions? We're happy to help. You're not just another number. Come see us today, and we'll give you the best phone for your needs. We're friends. We're neighbors. We are Kansas. NextTech Wireless.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson. Inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by a group of swimmers. What do we call that, a gaggle? Ducks?
Yeah, we can go that. Yeah.
So we got head coach Clara Gilbert, senior Gavin Hirsch, and senior Ty Bean. Been a little bit since we talked to you guys before Christmas, really, so what we want to know, you guys were closing in on some consideration times before Christmas. How are we doing state qualification-wise?
We recently added another one in the 200 free at consideration time. The relay was Adam, Hall, Bow, Ellis, and Casey Kennedy.
So that was at home. Great Bend, you guys were at home Monday. The consideration time was 1:43.56, and they come in at 1:42.41. So they got second at the home meet.
We won't know if we're gonna get in till like closer to state. If we made it the consideration time.
And, I, of course, did the 200, and all I can say is that I wish I got that time. But
Yeah.
Well, that's a relay. That's 4 guys. They're all coming in fresh. You had to do it all by yourself.
Right.
Which you did it for the first time at the home meet.
Yeah, it's a fun experience. So.
So we'll introduce him here. He's Senior Gavin Hirsch, first-year swimmer, but besides the swimmer, he was a first-year football player this year, class valedictorian. He's up for homecoming king coming up here, the winter homecoming. What took you so long to get involved with this stuff?
Oh, well, I just, I don't know, it was just awakening in me. I just decided, you know what, let's get involved. It was actually funny because about the end of our junior year, I had one of my best friends, Max Poporski, and he made a deal with me. He was like, you know what, I'm going to do football. And I was like, okay, fine, if you do football, I'll do football. And so, immediately I got into football. I will say, I did linebacker. It's not for me. I don't have enough weight on me, but I wish I would have been a running back, but it was still a fun experience. But of course, after football, I was like, you know what, let's get more involved, and I did swim. But primarily I did swim because, it was something to do. I was used to not going home after school, so I definitely wanted something to do right after school. And of course, swim, unlike football, it really, really gets you in shape. And yeah, so swim's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and so you're a first-time athlete, and we talked about it when she brought in kids the very start of the season. We expect way different things because they're holding their breath, they're getting in shape. How different was that for you being a first-time swimmer?
Oh yeah, it's just something you have to, work for. I started off, not knowing how to dive, not doing flip turns, which I don't really do that much, but really it's just a matter of time and going to practice. I don't miss practice that many times, but when I do go to practice, I always make sure that I do the workouts and get better.
That was Senior Gavin Hirsch, class valedictorian. So we also have Senior Ty Bingham here with us, and you guys did qualify for state, the 200 medley relay. Needed a 1:53.56 to qualify, had a 1:53.21 at the home meet. So you were with Ellis Long, Casey Kennedy, and Bo Burkhart. What's it like when you're going back to state?
It's pretty fun. Last year, Tyler Stein was the backstroke, but this year I get to do the backstroke, and so that'll be fun with Bo on the freestyle and Casey on the butterfly and Ellis on the breaststroke.
Panthers finished third at home. Let me talk about Manhattan real quick. We've talked about how numbers will impact your scores, so I know you want to beat Garden City, and they finished second, but Manhattan not only had the numbers, but seems like they won every race by big margins. How good were they to watch?
You should ask the swimmers. It was nice.
Yeah, you were in the pool with them.
Yeah, they were racing them.
And you mentioned Manhattan?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all I can say about Manhattan is they're a tough team to beat, and the fact that we competed against them is an achievement of its own. But of course, they're a 6A school. I don't even want to know how many kids they have at their school, but with our class, I think it's around 900 at Great Bend. It's just an experience to compete against them and have a chance. So.
And then Ty, so you were in the 100-yard backstroke in Topeka on Tuesday, finished 9th, but once again, a lot of top 6A talent. Happy or disappointed with a finish like that?
I was pretty expected there since it was a pretty big meet with lots of bigger schools, and I'm kind of like in the middle of the pool on time-wise. So.
And how does that work out as a swimmer? Football coaches are showing you tape of the opponent, basketball, track, you're going to know a lot about the kids going in. Do you know kind of the field when you're going into a big swim meet like that, hey, I might not go top 5 today?
Yeah, you can see all the seed times for the swimmers in the lanes, and so I can kind of gauge what I'm up against. So, in my heat, I was at the top of my heat, but I wasn't in the top heat, so I could gauge how, fast and the other swimmers are going to be.
And what's the mindset there? Say, just a blank slate, I don't care what race, but you know that your best time has been a 60 flat, and one of the kids in the race is running a 55 flat. What's the margin there that you can reasonably pick up on a good competitor? Can you shave off 3 seconds just because the competition's that much better, or maybe it's the pool's a little warmer or cooler?
Yeah, so I got kind of a funny story. We had a meet on Monday, of course, and we were at the college, and just like you said, shaving off 3 seconds. It was funny because I was swimming the 100 free, and I'm swimming back on my last lap, and I see there's somebody's next to me, neck to neck, and I immediately start swimming as hard as I can because I'm like, I gotta beat this guy, I gotta get first, and I did get first. I got to it first, but when we got out of the water, I realized that it was one of our teammates. So it's it just adding that competition really allows you to shave off even 3 seconds, which is about what I did. So, but yeah,
it doesn't matter who it is. You want to get that personal best.
Exactly.
Coach, kind of real quick here. I know Garden City has been a topic all season. You want to win the Western Athletic Conference. They beat you a couple times this year. Beat you at home by 90 points. But you were mentioning you had some disqualifications. There's room for picking up some more points. Now Cole Sanders has got a shoulder injury. He's going to hurt you. So WAC is February 10th in Garden City. What do you have to do to get him over the hump?
So hopefully we'll be a full team. I know it's also the grades have a huge impact, so they know they need to be good students. So I'm hoping I'll get all the athletes be in the best shape, prepare them for WAC, and make sure we do all those little details so we don't get disqualified and lose points for Garden City. Since they have 20 plus swimmers compared to 14, which is a lot of points that we need to do now in order to win WAC.
Listen to your coach, guys. We've shared her story before. We know she's hard, but she's doing it for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, of course.
Am I?
But hopefully, I will say, next year I think we have 8 seniors on the team, 7, 8, or something, somewhere on that line. So, of course, after this year, we'll be losing, half the team. So, I hope they find a way to increase the...
Hopefully people will be inspired by Gavin, a new swimmer, and already being at the top and improving so much.
Yeah, exactly, as a senior.
The swimming is possible, and it's not scary.
Right. Panther coach Clara Gilbert, senior Ty Boone, and senior Gavin Hirsch, thanks for coming in, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
More sports day after this.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
Hello, this is Austin Alford. I'd like to introduce to you today one of the most popular pieces of equipment we have to train core strength, shoulder stability, core stability, and even to improve balance. Come check out the core station for yourself at Progressive Physical Therapy Center in Hayes.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy in Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Attention high school juniors. Explore your career paths at Barton Community College's Junior Day, February 15th. This fun and free day features a campus tour, giveaways, yard games, pizza, and did we mention $3,000 in scholarships will be up for grabs? Learn about a variety of career paths, some which can get you in the workforce and making money in just one semester. Sign up online at juniorday.bartonccc.edu through February 1st to attend Junior Day.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Great job, Panther swimmers in here today, bringing it strong, along with Mike Corson. Steve Webster back with you. Corson already hit the trail. Mike Hesher sticking around with me here as we wrap up the Thursday show. Hey, tomorrow, that means our KBGB High School basketball insider Connor Nickel will be on the show. We're talking with Barton men's basketball coach Jeremy Combs and David Hellbauer, the bowling coach for Great Bend High School, on the show tomorrow because we'll have all the Friday headlines for you. Don't forget, Panther basketball coming up tonight or this afternoon, 4:15 for the pregame show. Lady Panthers taking on Blue Valley. The 8th-ranked Blue Valley team is 6-3. Lady Panthers are 5-5. Aaron Clark will have the call for you starting at 4:15. Panther boys on the road tomorrow at Dodge City. We'll wait and see what the Lady Panthers do. Be sure to check GreatBendPost.com to find out who's playing who and where. Talk to you tomorrow on Sports Day.
This is Agriculture Today, and I'm Samantha Bennett.